As soon as we saw graphs in the xy plane, you were probably thinking of the graphs of equations in two variables. And that's absolutely true. What we're going to be most interested in is relations that are described by equations in two variables. And when we want to write such a relation, we use set builder notation. So here is an example of a relation written in set builder notation. We have R is the name of the relation, and then the rest of this is set builder notation. XY is the example element. So this is telling us that X represents the first entry in this relation, and Y represents the second. And then we've got that bar that means such that. And then finally, the equation that describes the condition on X and Y to be in the relation. And so a pair XY is in the relation if it makes the equation true. So for this relation R, asking is -5 related to 0 is asking about the pair -5, 0. So it's asking about if X is -5 and Y is 0. So we'll take -5 squared plus 0 squared, which is 25 plus 0, which really is 25. So -5, 0 is an element of R, and so this is true. If we're asking, is -3 related to 4? We're asking about the pair -3, 4. That's X is -3, Y is 4. So we'll say -3 squared plus 4 squared. That's 9 plus 16, which really is 25. That makes the equation true. So -3, 4 is an element of the relation R. And again, this statement, -3, 4, is a true statement. For 5, 5, that's asking us about the pair 5, 5. So X equals 5, Y equals 5. So we'll say 5 squared plus another 5 squared. That's 25 plus 25, which is not equal to 25. So if I plug in X equals 5, Y equals 5, that does not make the equation true. So 5, 5 is not an element of R, and the statement 5R5 is false. Now, assuming we have an equation that we know how to do algebra to, we can, given one of the related values, find the value related to it. So here, S is the relation containing all of the pairs x, y that satisfy this equation. So if we want to say 2 is related to something, well, that's telling us about the pair 2, and then we want to find the second entry. In other words, X is 2. What is Y? Well, let's plug in. All right, we'll have 3 times 2 plus 2Y is 12. That's an equation I know how to solve. I'll multiply 3 times 2 is 6, so we've got 6 plus 2Y is 12. Subtract 6 on both sides, and we've got 2Y is 6. Divide by 2, and we've got Y is 3. So the pair 2, 3 is in the relation, and so 2 is related to 3. We want to say what is related to 0. That's asking us about a pair something comma 0. So it's saying what is the value of x when y is 0? Again, we'll just plug that in. 3x plus 2 times 0 gives us 12. 2 times 0 is just 0. So this is just 3x equals 12. Divide both sides by 3, and we have x equals 4. And so in the pair, the number that's related to 0 is 4. 4 comma 0 is an element of our relation. So 4 is related to 0. And of course, order is important here, right? When we wanted to say what was related to 0, we were looking for an x corresponding to y equals 0. When we want to say 0 is related to what, we're looking for a y so that 0 is related to y. So when x is 0, what is y? Again, we just plug in 3 times 0 plus 2y is 12. 2y is 12 because 3 times 0 is just 0 again. Divide both sides by 2. We get y equals 6. So the pair 0, 6 is in our relation. 0 is related to 6.